Hey, how's it going, everybody? Wayne Eulery here with Wayne's Word, episode 10. Glad to have you. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. We took a little break yesterday, Monday, but back at it again today. Hopefully, you're ready for another episode of Wayne's Word. Designed with you in mind. Some motivation, inspiration, and transformation. You know, it's funny, we're going through a little transformation ourselves, so hang in there and enjoy the ride. Great to have you today. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I want to talk about is we're really moving in to the arena of podcasting. And so what this means is that in the future, there'll be, a schedule for live shows and whatnot. But really, all you're going to have to do is subscribe to the podcast, and then as they're finished, you'll get them delivered right to your iPhone, to your email, so on and so forth. So right now, we're waiting for iTunes to approve us, and then you'll be able to subscribe right through iTunes. So make sure you have the podcast app on your iPhone. Awesome stuff. Also, if you want to learn how to get connected with the podcast, sent to your email or whatnot, because it'll still work on your phone right now, just send a text message out. Now, this is only going to work for the listeners in the U.S. I'll have to figure out something for international listeners, but for those of you in the U.S., all you got to do is get out your cell phone and you're going to send a text message. And you're going to send a text message to the number 50500. That's 50500. And you're going to send the word podcast. That's it. Just text the word podcast, all one word, to 50500. When you do that, you'll get one message. That message will give you the links to our podcast. Right now we're using Spreaker, and so you'll be able to subscribe via Spreaker to Wayne's Word. And for the Thirsty Thursday show, which is a show we do on Thursdays, you just have to enter in your name and email for that one right now, and that will actually be sent right to your email. Pretty cool. And if you have Twitter, there's a little Twitter bonus in there. So when you get your message, there's a link. Just click on that. It'll automatically open up your Twitter and just tweet away. And when I see your tweet, we'll make sure to follow you back, give you some Twitter love, and go from there. How's that sound? So also, though, to find me on Twitter right now, just look for Wayne Eulery, WayneUlery. That's at Wayne Eulery. All right, awesome. So listen, we're going to cover a couple of different things today. I'm going to go over a couple of different things. First, as always, we're going to start out with the word of the day. And I use a Bible app called YouVersion, and it's great. I mean, it gives you a word of the day every day, and I really highly recommend it. Just check out in the iPhone or in the App Store. You should be able to get it. It's free. And right now, I'm looking for the word of the day. It's kind of eluded me. I had it here, and now it's gone. Great. Wonderful. Just give me a minute here, and here we go, today. Okay, so the word of the day is Mark chapter 8, verse 36. What will you gain if you gain the whole world but destroy yourself? Again, Mark 8:36. What will you gain if you own the whole world but destroy yourself? Very, very good message there. Very good scripture. I'm going to post that on Facebook, Twitter, and Path. There it goes. All right. Now, I also want to get back to the book we were going through last week, Winners and Whiners. 10 distinctions between winners and whiners. And we're about to go into the next distinction, which is distinction number 7. I'm actually going to cover 2 of them today. So, winners brighten a room by entering, and whiners brighten a room by leaving. Which one are you? Do you brighten a room when you enter it, or when you leave it. So moving right along, here's how the chapter goes. Winners energize people. The excitement about who they are becoming and what they're doing in life makes their enthusiasm a tangible force. It feels good just to be in their presence. Whiners, on the other hand, can be emotional vampires, draining the energy from everyone around them. Have you ever noticed that winners attract other whiners, while whiners cluster with whiners? Birds of a feather do indeed flock together. If you've made the decision to change from a whiner to a winner, it's essential to surround yourself with winners as much as possible. A warning though, winners will not spend much time with those who continue to complain. To find and keep the company of winners, you will need to eliminate whining from your life. If God had made 11 commandments, the 11th might have been, "Thou shalt not whine." I have a plaque in my home bearing that inscription, and it acts as a constant reminder that although we are all human, and we live in a world that can be more pessimistic than optimistic, we must be vigilant in choosing the words we speak. Whiners brighten a room by leaving, because they take their complaining with them. Have you noticed that whiners will actually get into a competition to see whose life is worse? No wonder winners refuse to spend time with whiners. It's my opinion that the overwhelming majority of people fit the description of a whiner. Even my 96-year-old great-grandmother thinks so. While at my parents' house, dropping off a copy of Random House version of my book, The Top 10 Distinctions Between Millionaires and the Middle Class, my great-grandmother walked by the table and picked up the book. She read the title aloud and then asked me, "Does this tell you how to be a millionaire? How do you do it?" I rattled off a few simple things like having faith, taking risks, and refusing to complain. She paused and then said, "Well, there ain't going to be many people getting there." My grandmother's right. Most people are addicted to whining, and it takes conscious effort and daily discipline to stop complaining and to become a winner. Like becoming a millionaire, becoming a winner is a choice. Part of that choice is to stop complaining and start appreciating. Winners brighten a room by showing appreciation for life. They talk about the good things that have happened, are happening, and will happen. In my Wisdom Creates Freedom workshop, I give everyone a life-changing challenge. If you're willing to receive it, I'd like to offer it to you. The challenge is this: for 7 days, do not complain. If you go 1 day and then complain on the second day, you must start all over again at day 1. If you go 3 days without complaining and complain on the 4th, you must again go back to day 1 and start over. When you can go 7 days without complaining, you will have become very aware of the power of your words. You will also start to notice the winners and whiners in your life on a deeper level. Whiners are unconscious of how much they whine. Winners are aware of the power of their words, and through these words they brighten a room. In addition to complaining, whiners are also masters of self-pity. Winners do not attend pity parties. They don't throw them for themselves, and they don't respond to an invitation to attend someone else's. Self-pity is part of the darkness that leaves a room when a whiner walks out. It's impossible to become a winner and wallow in self-pity. Wallowing in self-pity is like a dog eating its own vomit, or a pig rolling around in its own waste. It's no wonder winners don't spend time with the whiners. Would you want to spend a lot of time with someone who smells like vomit or crap? The reason that whiners go hang out with the reason that whiners go hang out with whiners is because they all smell the same. They are used to the stench. Winners do, however, spend some time with whiners, trying to help them clean themselves off. I love the fact that Jesus took time to be with whiners and influence them for the good. Winners work with whiners until they can tell that the whiner is not willing to grow. If a whiner is committed to staying the same, well, let's just say that there is only so much of the smell that a winner can take. You might say that winners make a room smell better by entering, and whiners make a room smell better by leaving. How do you smell? What do winners pick up on when they are around you? Are you aware of your light and your darkness? We all have the potential to brighten a room or darken it. Winners focus on walking in the light. They are appreciative and focus more on the good in this world than the bad. They brighten a room by encouraging others, congratulating others, and refusing to speak poorly of others. Whiners discourage others, compete with each other on how bad their lives are, and gossip. Becoming a winner demands that you focus on the positive. Winning is a choice. Choose to appreciate, encourage, and find the good in yourself and others. Choose to be a winner and help light the way for those that follow. Remember, winners brighten a room by entering, and whiners brighten a room by leaving. Awesome. Awesome. Now listen, I was going to go into distinction 6, but I think I'm going to save that now. We'll save that for tomorrow. What I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to play a little excerpt from a speaking engagement that a friend of mine did. His name is Rex Crane, and you can check him out at Rex Crane on Twitter or rexcrain.com. That's REXCRAIN.com. He's a performance and life coach, and he did this message on average, mediocre, and predictable. And I think it's a great message, and I want to share it with you right now. So hang in there 1 second, and we're going to play this.
%63% of Americans right now say that their best days are behind them. 71% of the people in Rome, Italy say their best days are behind them and things will only get worse. 82% of the people in Paris, France say their best days are behind them and things will only gradually decline. People don't have a lot of optimism for what's possible. So for things to be different, we must become different. Not common, not average, not every day doing the same thing and expecting a different result. I say this all the time, that our similarity creates our comfort, but it's our doing different that will create your rewards and decide your significance this year. In AA, they teach that's insanity, doing the predictable, doing the common, and expecting something different. But for things really to become different, we must get out of our box and become different. In fact, you've been different since birth. You've always known you've been different. Why? Because the greatest mind in the universe designed you. Even the very fact that you're breathing here today is evidence that God knows the earth needs something you got. Think about it. There's 6,000 incredible, powerful people in this room right now. The dreams, the ability to do things in here, to come up with business ideas, to change the world. Think about the pregnancy that's in this room of potential that hasn't scratched the surface of our minds or come out and played yet. The very fact that you're breathing is evidence God knows the earth needs something you got. Powerful statement. He designed you to be different. But most of us get caught doing the same thing around people that predict the same things out of us, and we get caught in cycles of defeat that detour us from what makes you different. Have you ever taken the time just to maybe even investigate yourself? Gandhi said a life worth not examined is not worth living. Have you ever examined your difference? Because if you as a human being ever recognize your difference, and that's why I love this business, it opens up an opportunity for you to have a financial stability to exert your difference so you don't work a job, you live a dream on this planet. Have you ever taken the time to examine yourself? You're a wonder. The greatest mind designed you. There's nobody quite like you. 7 billion people, not one has the same fingerprints, the eye pupil, that retina that you possess. What do you love to learn about? What do you love to think about? What do you love to dream about? What makes you weep when you walk by? I like to think what makes me weep is what I'm assigned to heal and bring change to on the planet. Maybe what I hate is what I'm called to correct. If you ever recognize your difference, you'll see what other people need from you. But I've noticed something, that for things to be different, we must reposition ourselves. There's an incredible story I was reading not too long ago about Thailand. There's a village in Thailand, and they were looking to bring a big old highway right through the middle of this village. But in this village, there's a monastery there with a Buddha temple of about, a Buddha statue, about 11 feet high. And it was visited by a few people. Every year would come to this different place, and they held it as an esteemed religious symbol in their eyes. But something happened where they wanted to build this highway, so they needed to reposition this symbol of religious belief. They decided to move the monastery and this little statue all the way down the road, and they repositioned it. And while they were putting it into the new ground, it was interesting. The clay that had gathered for so long around this statue began to peel off. Immediately, the workers that were repositioning this statue, they began to be nervous because this held such esteem in the eyes of some of the people that were close by watching it. But what they began to discover was, as the clay peeled off, underneath all that clay that had contracted so much tarnish was pure gold lying underneath. In fact, the estimated value of that statue before it was repositioned came in at $50,000. After it was repositioned, it was measured at $60 million, and it went from a couple hundred people visiting it every year to millions upon millions coming every year just because of the story. Can I tell you something? When you go to do different, sometimes it's good to reposition yourself. But 63% of Americans...
Wow. Wow. I mean, that was awesome. I mean, think about, what do you need to do different? Are you going with the flow? And I talked about this in a previous episode. I think it was episode 5. Are you doing the same thing over and over again? Are you going with the flow with the people at work? You know, what do you need to do that's different? I don't know. You need to think about that. So, hey, glad to have you today. Wonderful day. Tuesday. Thanks for stopping in at Wayne's Word. And look forward to seeing you in the next episode. So hang in there. We'll see you soon.